The Joyboy is here. But not in the way that you would think, as Oda has been telling us that this Joyboy character is the key to the changing of the era, and that his or her contribution is era-defining and damn near life-changing. But this video requires some introspection, and like YouTubers before me, I will attempt to reel you in by saying the prototypical, this video is not like the others, because, I mean, it probably is. Maybe slightly more erotic. Stay tuned. Nani? Okay, that was a lie. Not more erotic, but a different vantage point. Certainly like Zoro having to turn his head to look left, we're looking at things as if Joyboy has been presented to us via different characters, beliefs, and ambitions. Almost like what ifs. So something I did was I went around randomly asking my friends, the word friend loosely, what word comes to mind when they think of Joyboy. I asked 5 of them, with no prior knowledge that I would be asking anyone else the same question. I would say the results were fascinating and that it blew me away. It didn't do that, but again, perspective, it's a cheat code. Have you ever had a thought about something or an opinion with some self-awareness because maybe, just maybe your idea of the best movie ever being Shrek doesn't exactly scream film critic, so then you ask someone else the best movie ever and why, and they respond, The Princess Diaries, and then you realize your friend is a much greater idiot than you are? No one else, just me? Okay, so this kind of happened, but it made me realize that there must have been Joyboy candidates all along. Fate was in motion for several people, but this job requires key characteristics and personality traits to be successful. I just gotta say though, characteristics and how I say it sometimes can sound weird, so that's a word I always try to stay away from. Everyone has a word like that, okay? Quickly, you don't have to put it in the comment section or anything like that, but what's that word for you? Say it to yourself, and it's hilarious every single time, but fuck you to the people that did notice. To reel you guys back in, here's Nami's boobs. But on a serious note, I do need help. Literally real help, and I'll tell you why, okay? Wait, 1 second. This quote I stumbled across enhanced and helped me move on as I had become hung up on Luffy and Destiny versus Fate. If Luffy is Joyboy, as the previous chapter pretty much confirmed, unless Oda's just fucking with us and Caribou's literally taking a shit on Luffy's face, was this his fate all along? If Luffy was, say, a lazy man that loved sex, would he inevitably stumble upon Wano and be on the brink of defeating a Yonko of the Seas? That doesn't quite make sense to me. But how about this one? This is an excerpt from a book titled Fate and Destiny, The Two Agreements of the Soul by Michael Meade. Now, other than my friend's shitty answers, this quote actually blew me away as it comforted my spirits. I could finally get back to regularly scheduled programming, upvoting the best comments on the hub to support the industry. Either way, here's the quote. Wounds can become our doorways to our deepest gifts, and our greatest efforts in the world are intended to lead us to a treasure divinely seated within us before birth. Fate and Destiny speaks directly to young people looking to find a genuine path in life and trying to awaken to the dream they carry inside. As one story puts it, God only has one question to ask you at the end of life. Did you become yourself? So, on its surface, it's poetic, yet confusing. However, it's telling us that Luffy becomes Joyboy. In a way, he's becoming himself. Joyboy is Luffy and Luffy is Joyboy. The difference in the two is negligible, as negligible. Negligible obviously is another word that I try to stay away from, but this kid Luffy is literally the embodiment of what it means to be Joyboy. But what exactly is that? What does it mean to be Joyboy? Well, let's look at one candidate. In Portgas D.A.'s, a hothead for certain, but based on what we know about this loafer-wearing king, he had several shortcomings when we view him as a Joyboy candidate. Yes, his father did throw his hat in the ring even before he was born, as he should, because fate and destiny is a thing, and he should have all the qualities, and it should be right on time. Who better to be Joyboy than the Pirate King's son? Even better, if we assume Sun God Nika and Joyboy is one and the same, well, a D-Clan member wielding the Marimaro no Mi, who is the son of the Pirate King, is candidate uno, right? Well, wrong, because Ace was, as stated in the first quote, not even close to becoming himself. Braga, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, he was way too busy blaming others, his father, for his suffering and chose to live his life attempting to erase Roger's legacy and surpass him and change the narrative around the relationship. Father of Ace instead of son of Roger, which, mind you, very big shoes to fill. Ace's fate was to be chased by the Marines. His blood was too pure. His mom was Portgas D. Rouge, and his dad was Gold D. Roger. I mean, but what if Ace embraced his lineage? What if he stopped stopped projecting and searching for a scapegoat, how much greater would he have become? Erasing the existence of a necessary step to the secret of the One Piece was never going to fulfill him. To his credit though, he did realize things later in life by following Whitebeard, but how much of this was influenced by his early rejection of his actual father? Fate and destiny, using that as a baseline, Ace disqualified himself somewhat, as we still have yet to learn the importance of the devil fruit Luffy wields. But either way, an amazing candidate that didn't want the treasure within. In fact, he rejected it with all his soul. That's why I love the name of this book so much, Fate and Destiny, the two agreements of the soul, because for you to truly become yourself, your soul must match up with your dream, and that kind of carves your destiny. All right, let's get to less confusing stuff, because we got to talk about the Ace novel really quickly, because even Shanks had a hard time understanding Ace's personality. Ben Beckman calls him arrogant and someone who lacked vision. Was he wrong? Not necessarily, but was this Ace's destiny? You cannot convince me that it was. Now, on the contrary, we have characters like Blackbeard, whose entire existence is a mystery, but the dream that Blackbeard carries inside, is it even his own? There is speculation of interference via Zebek or carrying on the will of Zebek, so how could one find their purpose, or better yet, make their purpose? There is the amazing parallel that I believe Oda will touch upon, and how decisions and conclusions and characters coming to this is a major part of shaping their destiny, and like Doflamingo said, the victor decides which was correct. But Blackbeard, on the bare premise of what it means to be free, and the theme of the story is blatantly, and even through the words of Whitebeard, disqualifies him, as he was not chasing the dream inside. It was obvious to anyone that had knowledge of the selfless nature of what it took to be Joyboy, Blackbeard was indeed not it. Now, could something come out on the other side of that could rival the decisions of what it means to be Joyboy? Sure, but at the end of the day, that is the losing side, because you're not becoming yourself. You're not following the dream within. Now, we get to Kaido, a young, extremely powerful, impressionable pirate who caught the favor of Rock's D. Zebek. Personally, I think Kaido's name was given to him by Rocks, okay? As it was pointed out by Sandman, shout out to the GOAT Sandman, Sandman_AP on Twitter, the kanji Kaido actually means Joyboy/strong kid. It could be why Kaido changed King's name and then his obsession with death and Joyboy. If the key to becoming Joyboy is through death, or for example, finding the genuine dream you carry inside, well, how is Kaido disqualified? Well, Kaido is not genuine, but impressionable. He admired the story of Joyboy, but he himself did not embody what it means to be Joyboy. You do not become Joyboy, you are Joyboy. It is who you are, not forced by attempting to die and enslaving the promised place for Joyboy to return. What Kaido did was self-fulfilling prophecy. The thing you want to absolutely prevent or achieve, the decisions you make are actually making it happen. Somewhat like the world government. Involving CP0 made what you wanted to prevent happen. Kaido's decisions spurred this entire raid into action. He is partly the reason why Joyboy is appearing right now. It is almost just beautiful irony and just embodies what One Piece is. But did Kaido become himself? The person that we see now isn't even the person we saw in the flashback. Something changed him. Is it a realization that death without choice is actually the key to becoming complete? Then it brings us to Luffy, a genuine path in life and trying to awaken the dream they have inside. Roger and Luffy, they have the same childish dream that we still do not know about. Speculation is that they wanted to have a party with everyone, but it is the fiber of their being. I've incorrectly stated this before about Roger and saying that he failed, but that is so far from the truth, and I apologize, because Roger, he is Joyboy, but he was too early. He embodies Joyboy, but there's a reason that he wanted to live in the time of Joyboy. As a tale that Joyboy shared, the experiences he elaborated, they resonated with Roger, as they are one and the same. You are Joyboy, you do not become Joyboy. I believe once Luffy finds the One Piece, he will laugh as well. It will resonate with Luffy. This makes that Ace panel where unknowingly he wishes he could meet his own father whilst talking to Yamato. It's special, but it's sad, because it was always within you. You did not become yourself. Yamato even asked Ace, why did you let Roger chain his heart? In that same conversation, Luffy and Roger being aligned is also mentioned, and again, that dream, it's the tether between your fate and your destiny. I have some words about Shanks and his beliefs, why he moves around so much as to maintain a balance. You know, constant movement is almost necessary, but for that, you're gonna have to sub to convince me you want something like that, okay? Drop a like and sub. But to finish off, as we have ventured a bit too long, Luffy is Joyboy in essence, being a dream. Collaboration is necessary to be Joyboy, as we've heard of the Sovereigns and the Fishmen and the Sea Kings, and even Zunisha at this point. Someone who could not look past their own base desires, Kaido, Blackbeard, Ace, could never hold a candle to Luffy and his purpose within his dream. For Luffy being Joyboy, it isn't about becoming it or him. Luffy, his essence, his dream, it is Joyboy. Now, to the 5 words, because you guys thought I forgot, and you probably have been waiting for those words, the 5 different things my friend said when I asked him what was the first word that came to mind when you thought about Joyboy. There was smile, fire, mystery, death, and void. It's crazy how these words, these things that came to the mind of these random people I asked, is somewhat associated with every single Joyboy candidate I mentioned. Interesting, huh? But yeah, guys, give me your thoughts. Did you enjoy this video? I know, we went there sometimes. You can let me know if you enjoyed it. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys all so much. Again, guys, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost.